What up? It's your boy Wall Street, back off of a brief hiatus. Mentioned in my last video that I was feeling a little under the weather. It got worse, and I've recovered for the most part. Still a little, nasally. You guys might hear that, so I apologize. But besides that, I'm good, and I'm ready to talk hoops. I was just, taking the time to rest my voice. My throat was on fire. So now I feel a lot better, had a couple of cough drops, you know what it is. And we're good. We're back in business. So let's get down to it. Today, I want to talk about the new favorite for the NBA's Most Improved Player Award for the 2024-2025 season. I really talked about this award way early in the season, making some early predictions. I thought Bilal Coulibaly was going to win the award. That's part of my Wizards fan bias. I thought Grady up in Toronto was going to win that award. There's been a lot of really good improvements, especially from second-year players this year. But none of them are really falling in the odds right now. So let me go through the top 5 odds that I'm looking at right now. The strong favorite to win the award at this point in time is Cade Cunningham on the Detroit Pistons at -275. Right behind him is Dyson Daniels of the Atlanta Hawks at +200. We have Tyler Hero of the Miami Heat at +3,000. So, from Dyson Daniels, it falls off quite a bit to Tyler Hero. Then we have Christian Brown of the Denver Nuggets at +4,000 and Evan Mobley of the Cleveland Cavaliers at +10,000. So it's probably going to come down to Cade Cunningham and Dyson Daniels. And if I had to pick between those two guys on who is going to win, it's probably going to be Cade, just because of the significant change in record that his team has had. The Atlanta Hawks are not a horrible team, but they are not a good team by any means. The Detroit Pistons and the Atlanta Hawks are actually right next to each other in the Eastern Conference standings. The Detroit Pistons are at 39-32, which is a 4.5 game lead over the 7-spot Atlanta Hawks, who are 34-36. So I don't see that really changing. And frankly, with the way that the award has gone for the past couple of seasons, I feel like when I was younger, like in the 2010s, it was more geared towards players that went from either bench players or not getting a lot of minutes to guys that were inserted into the starting lineup and were performing and producing at a high level, right? I feel like as of recently, the award's been given more so to players that were already starters that have elevated from starter or potential all-star to like superstar level talent, right? Like last year with Tyrese Maxey winning, that was very indicative of that. The year before with Lauri Markkanen, that was kind of, from starter, potential all-star to, all-star, borderline superstar with Lauri. Year before that was Ja Morant, right? And Ja Morant even said when he won that award that, that award should have gone to his teammate Desmond Bane, who also had a very much improved season compared to his season prior. But NBA is just, I think it's giving it to players that they think are going to be more solidified, just because I think it does more for the fans, right? Like a lot more fans are going to be really happy to see Ja Morant win an award like that than Desmond Bane, which is no shot at Desmond Bane. It's just Ja Morant is a global sensation at this point. So that's just kind of how it's been. So I could see it definitely going to Cade. I think that's a pretty safe bet so far in terms of the odds, no pun intended. But I do want to talk about some of these other guys, because I think out of all of them, Dyson Daniels and Christian Brown have had the biggest jumps, and I want to give them their flowers. So let's talk about them for a little bit. So Dyson Daniels went from the New Orleans Pelicans to the Atlanta Hawks in the offseason, right? That was the trade that brought DeJounte Murray to New Orleans and sent, I think, Larry Nance Jr. and Dyson over to Atlanta, right? So Dyson Daniels had this funny quote earlier in the season where he's saying that the New Orleans Pelicans are cursed and everyone over there is dealing with injuries and stuff like that. And he was very happy to be out there. And clearly, based on his production, he is very happy to be out there, and he's playing a lot better, right? So last year was averaging 5.8 points per game playing 22.3 minutes per game. He played 61 games, only started 16 of them. This year he has played 65, has started all 65, and has played 33.9 minutes per game, is shooting 48.5% from the field, a career high, shooting 34.7% from three, also a career high. He's pretty bad from the free throw line, shooting a career low from the free throw line at 58.7%, but he takes under 2 free throws a game, so that's not that big of a deal. He's averaging a career high in rebounds at 5.7, career high in assists at 4.3, career high and also leading the league in steals at 3 a game. So he's definitely also going to get votes for Defensive Player of the Year, in my opinion. 0.7 blocks per game and 14 points per game. So almost a 10-point jump in points per game from last season to this season. So if I had to pick somebody in terms of how much they've really improved, I would like to say that I think, at least measurably, Dyson Daniels has improved more over last season than Cade Cunningham has. I think a lot of the reason why Cade is going to come away with the award, though, is because of how much the team has improved. So a lot of his improvement is coming in the source of the team record as opposed to his individual stats, even though Cade's individual stats have also improved, right? And we'll get to that. But I also want to give flowers to Christian Braun, who is, a member of the Denver Nuggets. He's been able to step up a lot because of Kentavious Caldwell-Pope not being there anymore. The Denver Nuggets are currently 3rd in the Western Conference at 44-27. They're in a tight race between, let's call it the 2 seed and the 5 seed, where the Rockets, the Nuggets, the Lakers, and the Grizzlies are all kind of jockeying for position. There's a three game difference between the 2 and the 5 seed, right? So very close race in the Western Conference. But Christian Braun has allowed the Nuggets to really stay above and elevate themselves when they need it. Obviously, Jokic has been having an unbelievable season. Jamal Murray is a great player. Aaron Gordon's also still helping out. But so last year, Christian Braun played 82 games, only started 4 of them, 20.2 minutes per game, and was only averaging 7.3 points per game. Okay. This year, he has played 69 games. He has started 67 of them. Is playing 33.4 minutes per game. Is taking a career high 10.2 shots per game. Is shooting a career high 57.5% from the field, which for a guy who is a small forward, or I guess shooting guard small forward, he's just a wing player. He's 6'6", 218 pounds. Shooting a field goal percentage like that is not easy. That is not easy. And he does take a lot of interior shots. He's a great above-the-rim athlete. And he's taken 2.8 threes per game, shooting a career high from 3, 38.7%. He's also shooting a career high from the free throw line, 82%, compared to 69.4% last season. Career high in rebounds at 5 a game. Career high in assists at 2.4 a game. Career high in steals at 1.1 steals per game. And career high in blocks at 0.5 blocks per game. Also a career high in points at 15.1. So averaging 15.1 points per game this season compared to 7.3 last season. Right. And again, I think he should get votes. I don't know if he's going to win just because the Nuggets are they're still a good team. It's not like they're a much different team than they were. Obviously, Jokic and his improvement, he's having the best season of his career as well. He's probably going to win MVP in my mind. I feel like it'd be very hard to not give Jokic the MVP. So I think that's going to dictate more of their success, and in turn, it's going to allow Cade Cunningham to win this award over both Christian Braun and Dyson Daniels. And, Tyler Herro's also had an improved season, but I don't think the improvement is that significant to give him the award. I think that's why you see the significant drop-off from Dyson Daniels to Tyler Herro in the odds. But it is what it is. So let's talk about Cade Cunningham. Right, so I mentioned it before. The Detroit Pistons are 39-32. They were the worst team in the league last season. I think they had 14 total wins. I think there was a point in February where they were 3-32 or 3-35 or something crazy like that. The Pistons, I think, have their best record since the 2007-08 season. They went on an 8-game winning streak this year, which was, I think, also the longest streak since the 07-08 season. So Detroit has been revitalized, and Cade Cunningham is, by all means, probably the biggest piece of that. Obviously, the addition of Malik Beasley, Tobias Harris, getting veteran leadership in there. Jaden Ivey, like there's a lot of guys, Jalen Duren, there's a lot of guys that have really been contributing and improving over the years. But Cade Cunningham is that guy, right? He was a first-time All-Star this year. 66 games played so far, started all 66 of them, career high in minutes at 35.2, career high in shot attempts per game at 20.7 field goal attempts per game, shooting a career high in field goal percentage, though at 46.2%. He's basically right at his career high for three-point percentage. He shot 35.5% from three last season. And he's shooting 35.4% from three this season. So it's very well that he could end the season shooting a better percentage than he ever has before. He's also taking a career high in threes at 6 a game. Free throw percentage, not a career high, but he's always been a good free throw shooter. Career high in assists, though, at 9.2. Last season was his career high before this year at 7.5, so that's a big jump. I think that has a lot to do with the talent around him now as well, just from players they've had growing, as well as the addition of Malik Beasley, Tobias Harris, Tim Hardaway Jr., a lot of different guys. Dennis Schroeder now, they got him at the deadline, Lindy Waters. And he's averaging a career high in points at 25.7 points per game. So I think he deserves this award by all means. But I do think personally, if I had a vote, I'd probably be voting for Dyson Daniels or Christian Brown, just because I feel like Cade Cunningham's going to get his flowers regardless. Like, he has cemented himself as an all-star in this league after this season. And he's brought the Pistons up from a laughingstock team, basically, to a team that's very good, right? And this is a team that I wouldn't want to see in the playoffs if I'm the New York Knicks or the Boston Celtics or the Cleveland Cavaliers. If I'm any of those upper seed teams in the Eastern Conference, I do not want to see the Pistons in the first round. I don't want to see the Pistons in the second round, right? So I think, like I said, Cade definitely deserves this award. There's no knock against him if he earns the award and gets it. I will be nothing but happy for him. But I do think there should be some recognition for guys like Dyson Daniels and Christian Brown and Tyler Hero and Evan Mobley as well. It's just I don't see Evan Mobley and Tyler Hero's improvement as significant as Dyson Daniels and Christian Brown. That's just me personally. I think something the NBA should do, honestly, is have like a most improved team, right? Like, obviously the most improved player should still be a thing, but I think the NBA incorporating like, this is the NBA's most improved team, right? And you don't need a first and second team. You can do that if you want, but I think having that would just shine light on some of the up-and-coming players in the league, and I think it would be good, because a jump like Dyson Daniels has had, becoming basically one of the most, if not the most elite on-ball defender in the league in just a season's time, and recording just like record numbers in steals, that needs to be recognized, right? And he's obviously going to get votes for, all defense and, defensive player of the year, like all that stuff. But his overall game has improved so much. So that's pretty much all I got, guys. I want to know what you think, though. Please let me know in the comments. Who do you think is going to win this award? We're coming in on, I want to say, like less than a month left of the regular season. And, these awards aren't going to get announced until the playoffs. And they usually start with, like, I think Rookie of the Year and then Most Improved and then Sixth Man. And then they get all the way up to MVP by, I think, like the, almost the conference finals, probably mid-second round, right? But let me know what you think. I want to know what you think about all the players I was talking about. If there's someone I did not name that you think deserves some recognition, please leave some comments down below. Let's talk about it. Let's link, let's build, let's do all that stuff. But that's all I got, guys. So I'm going to let you go. Take it easy. Stay safe. Enjoy the rest of your day, afternoon, evening, morning, what have you, whatever time of day you're listening. Love you. Appreciate you tuning in, and I'm going to catch you later. Stay safe. Handle business. Staying on business. Peace.